In this podcast, I want to talk about what is called energy vampires. It's a name that's used and thrown around quite a bit. You probably have some understanding of it yourself, but I just want to speak about it from an energetic point of view. Not everyone has a lot of energy in their actual aura. Some people, because their chakras aren't all open or because of what's happened to them, they don't have a lot of energy. And so one person, like a new child who's coming, will have 10 out of 10. But someone maybe who's even in their 20s will have like 3 out of 10 energetic amount in their aura. Without realizing it, they can actually be draining for other people because they will always be sourcing energy from wherever they can get it. Energy vampires aren't always bad people. The word vampire, I think, is rather harsh because sometimes they're just people who are low in energy and try to access it from other people. You will know people who, when you've just been with them, you feel great, you feel energized, it was a lovely talk or conversation, everything went really well. You'll also know the other people who, firstly, perhaps you have trepidation to go and visit them because you find them draining or tiring, and then afterwards you will be very, very tired. There are common signs that you're being drained. I notice that I start to yawn a lot, and it's kind of embarrassing because they're talking to me and I'm yawning and trying to stifle my yawns. This is kind of a natural thing that what I'm trying to do is access more energy on some energetic level. So I know what's happening, and then I realise I need to put up some protection. You can figure out who the drainers are, usually because of how you feel afterwards. I had a situation where we had visitors. The person was from overseas, and she probably didn't have a lot of her own energy, perhaps. And when we were sitting at the table, she sort of took my hand and held my hand, and it all seemed very nice and friendly. And then soon after they left, I started to feel more and more tired. That night I landed up with a really bad headache, and the next morning I was just wasted. I was so tired. Spirit told me that she'd actually used the connection with my hand just to drain. So as much as we can hold someone's hand and send light and healing to them, like when someone's ill, we hold their hand to give them love and healing through the touch, so they can actually drain the opposite way. And you'll feel really, really tired. It's a different kind of tired. It's like a tired you shouldn't have. Like you're thinking, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? Energy drainers, or vampires, are people who basically can't manifest their own energy for whatever reason. And they, instead of learning how to do some light practices or work on themselves or get rid of all their blocks and baggage, they just tend to hook into other people and then drain off them. It's almost like a hook, like it's an energetic hook, and they'll drain off you. You will feel it if you're an intuitive. If you're watching these podcasts, you're probably an empath. You will feel it. The energy thing is one part of it. Often another sign is that they'll be quite negative. They complain and whine a lot, and it doesn't matter what you say to them. They complain and whine a lot. They are always whinging. It's always doom and gloom, even if their life's better than your life. They will not notice that you're having a very bad day because it'll actually all be about them. So I often find there's a correlation with them being quite selfish, self-absorbed people, and also draining of other people. It's strange because they need people. They need people and to bask in other people's energy, but unfortunately they just take from it. Don't be too condemning of people who are like this, because I feel they don't really know what they're doing. They just you'll always know, because they tell you afterwards, oh, I felt so great after I saw you. I felt so much better. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know why. Because you hooked in when I wasn't looking and drained. We can put protection up. I usually put white light up. Some people put different colours. Some people even put an energetic, like a cloak, over them. However, a very good energy drainer will find the hole if you've got one and will still drain. The other practice that you can do if you've been drained is you can do a quick meditation or thought where you bring your energy that they've taken back into your aura. It's quite simple. You're not taking anything that's not yours, and you just bring your energy back into your aura, collect it, so to speak. I usually, after that practice, I will send them a light and healing and energy. Because sending something is a conscious thing. It doesn't take from our aura because we're actually using the light. We're not actually using our own energetic light. We're using the light that we're sourcing from spirit. So it's actually better than what we've got, I think. It also means that we bring back into our energy field. If you're working with lots of people, you will find that you can feel very drained. Teachers, nurses, doctors, people who are working in call centres, all these different places can be drained. And be aware that people will drain you in the physical sense, but they will also drain you on the phone. So if you're on your mobile and you're talking to someone, they can drain you. People don't realise this, but it can be a very draining experience for you to be on the phone with somebody. I'm not sure about messages. I think there are some drain with the messages, but the closer we get to the person's energy field in terms of their voice and actually being with them, the larger is the drain. The sad thing about this is that some of these people can be in our families, our friends, people at work, so we don't want to actually stop our relationship with them, and we can be somewhat blind to them, but we will still find that they're draining. Because we love them, I suppose it's easy for us to accept it, but I would suggest that when you're tired or if you have low energy yourself, that you perhaps push the meeting back a bit later till you feel better, ring back the next day when you're more fully charged, because they will actually drain from you. If you are sick, keep away from them because they will drain a lot. I've had situations where I was, especially after my accident, and I was sick, and people would ring me up to ask how I was, but they were really ringing me up because they just want to have a big chat about their own life and drain me and then go away and feel better. And so I really limited it. I even got to the stage when I had visitors, I would come out in my dressing gown, not be dressed, to signal to them that I was still sick. You need to protect yourself against these people, because if you have too many in your life, the drain will actually land up affecting your aura quite a lot. I'm always bringing the light in, like through my head. I bring all the different colours of light in. I'm constantly doing that at night. And the other thing that you might come to consider is after you've had connection with these people, that you cut the cord from them, because they would have attached to you. So you just cut the cord between the two of you and send them love and light. I found this quite hard, this podcast, because the word vampire is kind of a harsh word, but most people know what that means. It's a very good visual. It's something that happens constantly in your day. You might find that your signal for you is that you don't really want to talk to them that much. You love them, but it's like, oh God, not now. And that's a good signal for you. Where someone else will ring you in the same time space and you'll just answer the phone. It's because they're not draining. So once you figure out who the people are, and you might like to write yourself a little list, wouldn't share it with anyone, but a little list of who you find draining and who you find non-draining, and that will be very good for you. And so you need to really limit the people who are draining for you. Children can also be draining because of their nature. It won't be that they don't manifest their energy very well, but they can actually be draining as well energetically for you, particularly children who are selfish and power kids. Some kids are very into power, get in their own way. You'll find power people can be draining because they just don't let up. Good luck with this one. It's something you can do to look after yourself, and you don't have to keep putting up with it for decades and decades and decades. However, the first thing fundamental to it is recognising it. And once you know who they are, then do the work. And you'll find your relationships with them will be easier and you won't be as tired. Okay, sending you love and light and good luck with the energy vampires this week.